मेतं पुरुषं महान्तं आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् तमेव विदित्वाति मृत्युमेति न अन्यपन्था विद्यते यनाय. Respected audience present over here today, at the outset, congratulations to the good program presented by the JV Gilnagar team. Thanks to all the acharyas for guiding the students to wonderful bhajans and a wonderful talk show. Right? The talk show, while I had thought about discussing one particular shloka today, I felt that let me rather focus on the talk show. What is the topic of the talk show? Impact of social media. Right? Because this is one issue, I think you had a good debate in terms of the pros and cons. And this one issue that is really grappling mankind and at times appears to me like a tsunami. Appears like a tsunami. It's overwhelming, isn't it? All the time, the social media is a great tool, no doubt about it. I think some of the advantages are something which cannot be doubted and should be leveraged. But if you look at the usage of social media and look at the positives and negatives, the time that we are spending, and this is not just children, even adults, isn't it? Even adults, is being spent more and more towards the other side. When I say the other side, yes, I'm referring to the negative aspects of social media. And most of it, I think, has to do with interacting with other people. Can I say that? Interacting with other people or consuming what others have posted. Or consuming what others have posted. Right? Could be a reel, could be a small movie or whatever. Right? That's the broad area, the elephant in the room, that needs to be thought and discussed a little further. My dear audience, the ultimate objective of human being is to seek happiness in life. Is to seek happiness in life. That's the ultimate objective. This happiness that comes in, psychologists say, the Shastras also affirm that, in a way, there are 4 sources of happiness. There are 4 sources or buckets. 4 sources or buckets of happiness. Right? One bucket of happiness that we all seek from is our own health. Is our own health. If you're not healthy, do you feel happy? No, right? You have fever. We definitely don't feel happy, isn't it? We feel uncomfortable. When the second bucket, I would say, is the kind of work or daily engagement. What are we really busy with in our lives? What are we busy with in our lives? That also tends to give a sense of happiness, fulfillment to us. One bucket, the third bucket in a way, is the larger meaning or purpose in life. That also gives a sense of happiness. And the last bucket is the relationships we have in life. That also gives a sense of happiness. Yes or no? When I come to social media now, and that's the broad topic today, social media, we are constantly on that platform for what? It is, in a way, we look at, I would say, relationships. You make an FB post, you make an Insta post, you put an Insta reel. What are you yearning for? Do you want more? You want more likes. You want more likes. So you're yearning for that, isn't it? You really want it. My post was seen by how many people? And those who see your post, maybe comment, put a small comment on it, put a small like on it, do a repost of it. Do you feel good about it? You feel good about it? Yes. Right? And you think what? That you have multiple relationships. You know so many people. You are so popular. Right? That's the perspective. Isn't it? And that's why we try and see as to how do I make my post more interesting, get more people to follow me. All of this is a race that we tend to keep running. Psychologists say that the relationships you form based on this social media, right, may be high in quantity, may be high in number. Right, a post could be liked by 100 people, 200 people. But if you compare it, it is like having junk food. If you look at nutrition or food, there is junk food and there is nutritious food, isn't it? Right? So social media, friends, is like having what? Is like having junk food. It can give you a very high number of calories. Very high number of calories. Most of them are not really the great or useful calories. Relationships in life are extremely important. They're a great source of happiness, right? But this junk food kind of relationships is not something that really helps you. It is not the quantity that matters, it is the quality of the relationships. That is critical. How many people are there with you who can bite the bullet for you? You understand what bite the bullet means? Who can stand up with you in your time of need. When you need people, when you have challenges in life, when you're really feeling low, how many people can be with you? Right? That's your real number of friends. Balance everything is nothing but junk food. In communication, if you look at effective communication, have you heard about a 55-38-7 rule? A 55-38-7 rule. What does it add up to? 55 plus 38 plus 7? 100. Right. So when you communicate, the psychologists say that 55% of your communication is through body language. 38% of communication is through the way you speak, your pitch, right? The speed, right? All of this constitutes how many? How much? 38%. And the words go on for about 7%. That makes it as, now this 55, 38, 7, I find 7 too low. Maybe it's a little higher. But the gist of the broad thought is that when you communicate with people, body language, non-vocal, this is your vocal aspects, and words are three aspects that are extremely important to communicate effectively. That's why in social media, I guess they also, first social media, you only had messages, and then they also introduced what? They introduced emojis. Why did they introduce that? So that you can communicate your emotions. Isn't it? So when you type a message, then you add a emoji. Right? It can obviously not effectively communicate what you are actually trying to say. Relationships are built face to face. Right? You can attend this satsang online, but coming here and sitting here physically, right, makes a huge, it's vastly different. And these relationships are something that need to be nurtured. Even in the Vedic Dharma, the Panchamaha Yajna, the fourth Yajna is Atithi Yajna, which is nothing but, right, you have guests at home, you nurture relationships. If someone is not well, you tend to go and visit the person. If someone passes away, you go and visit the person. If there's something good is happening, then also you visit the person. You also invite people. Right? It develops deep relationships. Remember, relationships are always very complex. Are very complex. I'll give you a small story. So there was once a class going on, and there are children like you, and the teacher refers to one situation, and he says, listen, there was once few people going on the high sea, on the seas. It was a stormy night, and the ship was sinking. The ship was sinking. There was a lifeboat, right? And there were multiple people got rescued. In the end, there were 2 people left. One husband and wife, 2 people were left. Only one could get onto this boat. Only one could get onto this boat, right? And so this husband, right, he had a conversation with the wife, and some discussion happened. The wife jumped into the sea, and the husband got onto the boat, and he got saved. The wife died. So question was that, what do you think, as this wife was drowning, what did she tell the husband? You got the question? As his wife was drowning, what did she tell the husband? What do you think she told the husband? You got my question? You understand my question? Should I repeat? 2 people, only one can get saved on the lifeboat. Husband and the wife, they both have a conversation. The wife jumps into the, or pretty much whatever, into the sea. The husband jumps onto the lifeboat and gets saved. As the wife is drowning, what do you think she tells the husband? Take care of family, right? Or she also, possibly, more answers came that, listen, why did you do this to me? I hate you. He in a way got saved, and he pushed her into the sea, right? That also could be a yes or no. That also could be a statement, right? So most children in the class, they said that, listen, she was really angry, and she said, listen, I hate you, right? Why did you do this to me? And one child was silent in the class, right? So finally the teacher asked this particular child, listen, what do you think, what is your answer? And he said something similar to what ma'am said, right? She said, take care of my child. So what happened was, after that, many years passed, and this particular person, he kind of, got saved, right? He had one daughter. The daughter grew up, multiple decades passed, and one day he passed away. After he passed away, a few days later, his daughter was cleaning the drawers. And there, he found one old diary. Wherein he had scribbled on a piece of paper, or had written some thoughts on a piece of paper, and referred to this incident many, many years back, right? As to what happened that day. What did he do? Why did he take this decision, right? And over there, he kind of writes that his wife was in a stage 4 cancer. So he realized that at that moment, it is much better to take care of the child, much better for him to save himself, so that he can take care of the child. How is this? Complex relationship, isn't it? On the face of it, you can judge this in a very different way, right? You go behind it, it's a very, very different kind of a reason, right? On social media, your relationships can never be deep, because all these various aspects of communication and the way relationships are really built, right? We often, on social media, what do? you often tend to judge people very, very quickly. Yes or no? Very, very quickly. You judge people without really going beyond it. Right? So, social media definitely is like a huge tsunami. If you look at China today, they are so seriously trying to ensure to restrict social media up to the age of 18. For how many of you know there's no Facebook in China? There is no Instagram in China, right? They're also leading a life. They may have some of their homegrown variants, right? But still, social media is highly controlled, right? The relationships, my dear audience, leads to something called, when you have good relationships, it produces an hormone called oxytocin. An hormone called oxytocin, right? This is generated, and this is what gives you a sense of happiness, which I referred to you, right? So when you talk to people, right, you meet them, the body language, you hug, all of these aspects gives you a sense of happiness, gives sense of oxytocin. Why do you think people have, today, as families get nuclear and smaller, why do you think they have pets? You have seen how people sometimes really have pets. Why do you think they have pets? It's nothing but, once again, a type of relationship. Yes or no? It's a type of relationship, right? And that's why you really start loving your pet. People go to great lengths to try to take care of their pets. It's nothing but relationships. So these relationships, they span across, right, multiple domains, and it is very important that we don't look at building relationships through purely social media, right? Because that's the biggest disadvantage side also of social media. Balance, all if you think about it, is hugely advantageous. But being able to build these pseudo relationships, more like a junk food, is where the real challenge lies. Okay. Any questions from you all? One or two questions? Yes, ma'am. That's right. In some cases, fine. Yep. That's right. So pets could at times are definitely more trustworthy than people, and at times, but I still don't think they can replace people, right? That's something which is not possible. But yes, that's right. Yes, sir. That's right. And for coordination, it can be for coordination, but not really to build, relationships at the deep level. It will never happen. They're all pseudo relationships, right? Any questions from you all? Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.